Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Charles back with another video for Black and Blue TV. When you guys get a chance, please like, share, and subscribe to the content because I'll be coming out with more NFL news as it pertains to the NFC and AFC championships and also some of the offseason news that's starting to trickle down. But today I'd like to focus on the NFC East and preferably the New York Giants. And first of all, congratulations to Giants fans out there. You know, I understand it was a tough loss against Philadelphia last week, but that's okay. You know, I think you guys are in the right direction simply because you have Brian Daboll as coach. And speaking of Brian Daboll, 2 hours ago he was just named AP Coach of the Year. And you know, it's funny because I did a previous video either yesterday or the day before in regards to why I think Brian Daboll should win Coach of the Year. You know, he's a tough, no-nonsense coach. You know, he provides culture, you know, that players can relate to on that roster. And also he holds his players accountable. And like I said, he reminds me of, you know, somebody else back in the day that did the same thing, you know, Mr. Tom Coughlin. You know, he did that for the Giants, and that's why the Giants were able to win 2 championships during his tenure. You know, and I think the Giants are in the right direction with this hire simply because, you know, Brian Daboll is building a culture and a foundation in New York. You know, there was a story back in the preseason of how players were fighting, you know, amongst one another during training camp. And I said to myself, I'm like, that's a good thing. They're going to be good. Because what it's ensuing is that, and what it's creating is that it's creating a competitive nature. And not only that, you're getting the best out of your players. See, when fights happen during training camp, it's like people are getting pissed off at one another, and you want that. Of course, you know, that's your teammate at the end of the day, but, you know, things are going to get chippy, and these types of things happen. That means players actually want to win. Players actually want to do well, and that is the culture that you need in New York. And more of a perfect example than Brian Daboll. I am a huge fan of Brian Daboll. I wish the Cowboys had somebody like Brian Daboll, simply because he'll hold his players accountable and he'll get the best out of his players. Now, I'm not saying Mike McCarthy is bad. You know, of course, I like Coach Mack. But, you know, I see why Brian Daboll won Coach of the Year. And deservedly so, to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, cape as a hater for the Giants, even though I don't like them. You know, you guys are in the NFC East. Like, I honestly do not like you guys when you play us. But, you know, respect is earned, definitely. You know, and I think that this is a great start for Giants fans. I think this is a great start for the franchise. And I think the best is yet to come for the New York Giants. You know, and also the best is yet to come for the NFC East. Because let's face it, I don't see the Cowboys going anywhere. I definitely don't see the Eagles going anywhere. And hopefully with the Commanders, if they sign an offensive coordinator that focuses on the run, you know, they will be able to be prominent as well. You know, like the NFC East is back. You know, I get so tired of people saying, oh, the NFC East, oh, the NFC East is trash, this, that, and third. You know, last time I checked, since 1997, there have been three NFC East teams in the divisional round. You know, and when you look at it, you know, the NFC East is outscored. I mean, not outscored. The NFC East is like, I think, like, what, 43 wins and 23 losses in that division. Like, to be honest with you, we were dogging people this year. And not just the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Giants. Come on, how many teams in the NFC East beat the Vikings? I mean, come on. You know, the Vikings were a whipping post pretty much. You know, for each NFC East team. I don't know about the Commanders. I have to check that, but I know the Cowboys beat them. I know the Giants beat them in the playoffs when it mattered most. And then, of course, Philly dogged them. Like, what was it, week 2? They dogged them. Like, it was no chance. They had no chance. You know, so I'm looking at the NFC East, and of course, you know, the Coach of the Year as a huge win, even though, you know, none of our teams are in the Super Bowl, with the exception of the Philadelphia Eagles, which have a game this Sunday, and if they go, they'll be representing the NFC East in the Super Bowl. So then what can people say then? See, the NFC East was not only the best division, or the best subdivision in the NFC, but it was by far the best division in football. And that's one of the things I predicted. So once again, congrats to Coach Brian Daboll. Well-deserved, my friend. You know, even though you're not my friend, but, you know, I do give credit when credit is due. And he's much deserving of that award. He worked his ass off this season, and he got those guys to play for him. And You know, honestly, I'm very happy for them and this team. But anyways, guys, give your thoughts about what I've said. Comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the dislike button if you want to. As long as there's some engagement, I'd really appreciate it. And you guys have a wonderful day.